I just think that it says a lot for the brand itself. And we're sitting with Jen in the lounge, and she came right on. It freaked me out for a minute there. I was like, what the heck? There she is. So welcome, Jen. Welcome to the lounge. I'm excited to be hanging in here with you today. And I want you to first start out and tell me, who were you before heart&core? Like, what were you doing before this company? And then lead in to tell us and tell me why you started heart&core. So take it over. Tell me what you were before heart&core.
All right. Well, thank you so much for inviting me to be here today. It's great to be able to tell a little bit more about what heart&core is about, kind of the questions that you're asking about. You know, before heart&core, I was a new mom to child number 2, my daughter Greta, and actually I was pregnant when we actually initially started this whole mindset of starting heart&core. And the reason was, you know, I had been in personal training, a massage therapist, so I would get feedback from people about trying to find sports bras, that sort of thing, you know. And anyway, my mom was getting ready to retire in the beginning of 2008. So in 2007, December of that year, we're out shopping with our mom. We're like, hey, let's get you some new workout wear. This is gonna be great. And we went to find sports bras for her. And my sister and I jokingly say we're built like 10-year-old boys. We look at something on the rack, we're like, yeah, that'll do. And we go. My mom was a full D cup. And, you know, she had a lumpectomy, radiation, and lymph nodes removed. So she had sensitivity issues still, you know, a few years after. Well, this was actually like 5 years after. And so everything was either a piece of material or a piece of underwire. And so, you know, I jokingly say enough underwire for a 1980s antenna on a TV, you know, because it was terrible and not comfortable, whether you've had surgery or not. So, you know, we basically started out heart&core as a sports bra design, and we had, you know, worked on that and got feedback to improve upon it. And it's a very intense market to be in. You know, you're up against some really big companies, and, you know, it's hard to compete in that market. And ironically, we ended up getting introduced to the post-surgical market. And I don't know if I'm jumping ahead too far, or am I all right what I'm doing?
Chatting away. This is great.
Okay. So we were introduced to this woman, Mary Prody, who invented the Prody drainage bulb holder. It's a unisex band that men or women can use to hold drains after their surgery. And we were like, hey, maybe we could put this into our bra, and, you know, let's research this. So we did a lot of research into the post-surgical market and realized there was a lot to be desired in the post-surgical market. It seemed like there needed to be some new products available. And we decided to take this, and we went to a ASPSN convention. It's a post-surgical nurses convention, and got their feedback. And then eventually we launched the Bonita bra, which is now named after our mom. So because she was always very supportive, and then we're launching a new bra too, which I can talk about as we go on. So, you know, it's kind of one of those things where you definitely don't say, hey, wake up one day and say, hey, I want to start a company and through hell and back and deal with manufacturing and overseas and in the US. But, you know, it started out, you know, really, you know, focused on what our mom was going through, and then really expanding and seeing what other women were dealing with and needed help on. So it became a passion for us to try to help this in some way, help these women that are going through breast cancer surgery and other types of heart and lung surgery, and make something a little bit better, nicer, easier, more comfortable and supportive for them.
Well, and quite frankly, the reality is after surgery, you are so sensitive. Your skin is unbelievably sensitive. It blew my mind how sensitive my skin was after having lymph nodes removed, after having nerve damage, after the scars, after all of it. And I will look at your bra and I can dissect it myself. It comes up high enough to your armpits so that it doesn't bother your drain scars. It doesn't bother your lymph scars. For me personally, my scars go underneath my breast. They don't go straight across. So That's one of the things on Cure Diva that I myself, when I'm talking to my clients, I ask them, how do your scars hit? The minute they say to me that they go under my breast, I show them your bra, because it comes down low enough that it doesn't aggravate that scar. That is huge. It is, I cannot express to you how huge it is. For it to not bother that scar is immense. It is incredibly soft. That is enormous. Now, I can take my breast cancer hat off, and I've had women who've had back surgery by it. I've had women who've had heart surgery by it.
Yep. And I think that was one thing we noticed in talking about it being so soft. What we saw, everything was doing it out of cotton, and it was like, cotton does not breathe. It does not hold, drainage, and it just does not hold or is not very comfortable for women. And that's where it was kind of an antiquated market, is everything was cotton and nothing really that supportive. And so we use a wick-away fabric, and that really helps women feel like it's not weighting so heavy on them or sticking so much to their bodies, which is definitely not anything they want to deal with. So.
Well, and then you can talk about the drains too. I mean, any woman who's had a mastectomy will tell you, it sounds so weird to say it, but the drains are the worst part. And honestly, they are the worst part. They suck. I mean, you want to rip them off of you, but at the same time, the thought of ripping them out, like, you don't even want to think about that. So to have something that you can hook them to so that they're not tugging and pulling is key. I mean, you need that.
Well, and that's what amazed us, is there are major hospitals and universities and, big clinics that were either saying, oh, here's a lanyard, stick them in your pockets.
Yeah. My doctor, because I had drains twice. The first time they were like, oh, just pin them to your shorts. And I pinned them to my shorts. Not fun. Not fun at all. Why are we telling women to do that when we have drain solutions? I don't understand it. Now, if I hear one more person say to me, you don't need drain solutions, you're right, you don't need them. Is it more pleasant to deal with a drain solution? Absolutely. If that's available to us, why aren't we utilizing that? I don't get it.
Yeah, it's interesting to me too that that not everyone seems to think that's important. And part of my mindset is, have they personally gone through that? Have they gone home and had to manage the drains themselves? Because at the end of the day, even if you're a doctor or nurse, if you haven't been through that process of having to go home and your spouse has to go back to work, or maybe you don't have a spouse or you don't have a caregiver, and you're heavily medicated and you're supposed to use safety pins to hook these to you. And then you go to the bathroom and you've got them hooked to your shorts. Well, now you got to remember to take those out, and unhook them for that.
Yeah.
So to me, I question, have they experienced that themselves or watched someone else go through that, to know when they're at home and trying to go through their day-to-day life, how are they supposed to manage that? If you can simplify something, that's a good thing.
And if you feel better about how you're managing your healing process, then you're actually going to heal faster. It's just, I mean, that's common sense. That's, caregiving 101. So if you have a solution to it, you're going to heal faster. So that's just how it is. I'm sorry. It's just what I believe. So.
Yes.
And I'm always right, damn it.
Yeah. And you can attest that personally too. And that's what's so nice too, is that you could say, hey, this is, I've been in this situation where you didn't have a good drain management solution.
Well, and I feel like I really can, because I didn't have drain solutions the first time. And I thought, oh, okay, I get it. You just pin them up and this is what you do. I went to the doctor's office. I put him in a pouch in front of me, and I felt like people were staring at me. I did, because you could see them coming out. And then the second time I had a drain solution, I was like, oh my God, why didn't I have this the first time? This is ridiculous. I mean, I had 6 drains. Like, this is nuts. I understood the difference. I totally get the difference. So,
Well, and it's a safety thing too. Like for us, ours, hook right onto the bra with a Velcro tab on either one. And, you can put them to the front or to the side. You can hook them out to the side if you want. People are afraid to hug people if they've got drains. Yeah. But at night, we have a lot of people that want them more towards the front. So if they tend to roll a little bit, they're not, there's that fear of smushing them,
right.
And you just don't know what to expect. So I think that's just an important piece about it, and it doesn't take much to have that added on there, but how beneficial it can be. And like you said, it's a psychological piece to think no one can see these hanging down. You know, they're trying to, you know, women are trying to get back into their real life usually quite quickly, and they want to feel as normal as possible.
And Jen, I'll be honest with you, that was the hardest thing for my kids, was the drains. My third son fainted when he saw them. He actually passed out. And my eldest son wrote a whole poem about just the drains, like, because they were really the most devastating part. Take the mastectomy out, and they saw my mastectomy. They saw it all. They, you know, I didn't hide anything from the drains were the worst part. I don't know what it is about them. I think they just seem to be so inhuman to people. So it just, you know, and I don't think the doctors, and I don't think they do it on purpose or maliciously. I don't think they really prepare us for the drains. I really just don't think they do. They give us a little graphic picture, like a drawing of it. Here's the drains, and send us on our way. So
yeah, well, and I think too, they're so focused on, you know, in the defense, oh, it's my bra, I hope so. In defense of them too, I think they are really busy, you know, just trying to make sure they do a really good surgery. They want to focus on doing the best surgery they can. And with nurses, it's like they're trying to care for you in all these different ways. And sometimes they don't necessarily, I mean, I've been in places where people have said, oh, they looked at your heart&core bra that I brought in and said, why can't we get these in here? So sometimes it's the complicated piece of cutting through the red tape to even
absolutely. Absolutely. And all doctors' offices should have at least the option for people to have them. I believe that. Yeah, so, absolutely. And you do have a new bra coming out, right?
Yes, the one that just popped.
Yeah.
So, you know, you have some malfunctions or.
Well, it's on a slippery mannequin, so I'm not.
Oh, you know. True. I know. You try to make them look as normal as possible on the mannequin.
Yeah, it's not at all. So
not exactly very realistic, but yeah. So we, like I said, we have the Bonita bra, and that's based on band cup size. It's got cups that are formed cups, so especially for women that have had like a single mastectomy. Yeah. It's going to make you look normal and even from the outside. Again, a psychological piece for women. And we've done a lot of changes on this bra, but also on the Elizabeth bra after getting feedback from patients and nurses and doctors. So that's been really helpful in the fact that we listen to them and say, what is going to, what can we make better on this? What do you like? What do you not like? And I think that's kind of where we try to differ from other companies, because we are making post-surgical bras our sole focus. We're not, for post-surgical bras, a lot of them are part of a small part of a much larger offering for their entire collection of, you know, swimwear and mastectomy bras. And so we're just solely on this. So we are now in the process of going through the final testing, and this will we'll be launching this in October. We'll be at the ASPSN again this year in Boston, and we're going to be at the Breast Cancer Awareness Association in Minneapolis here on the 10th of October. And basically, we're starting out with the clinics and hospitals, and then we'll be launching it retail. Is estimated that we'll launch end of October, beginning of November.
Great.
And we've already been getting the feedback and made those initial changes, and then we are bringing back all of our production to the U.S. It just, you know, manufacturing in general is a pain. It's a painful process to go through. But we currently manufacture in LA, but we're looking at a facility in Missouri, which would be awesome because it's very centrally located. Small town of people that are dedicated to wanting to make this work. And so we are now working on that. And so this is a much more simplified version. The Elizabeth bra is named after my sister's middle name, Lara, who's the other half of our company. And her name's Lara Elizabeth. My daughter's name is Greta Elizabeth. So we took this bra and made, after requests from clinics and hospitals, that this one was just too many different sizes to detail. We needed to take a step back and produce a bra that was more simplified, extra small through, you know, we have through super queen size. So we can fit anywhere from a 28 to a 50. And that is very helpful because you've got women of all shapes and sizes, as we're all aware of.
That is phenomenal.
And I really like it because, again, we're using that really soft wick-wave fabric. It's a front Velcro opening, and we use Velcro that is a medical grade, so it doesn't take in all of the fuzzies. You know, I always joke that so many of the bras are Velcro from like kids' shoes.
Yeah.
So ours is a medical grade, and then it, you know, it opens completely as well as through the straps here, and you can do some adjustment. It opens here, and then it's got the Velcro tabs. So when you've got, like you said, up to 6 drains, you can hook them all.
You can hook them all.
Yes, exactly. And then it's the same. They both are as far as the back, they're both a sports bra style. Bra. Yep. So it helps and it supports them, and it comes up high on the side. So
yeah, because your back is so sore after this surgery. You really do need good back support.
Support you, exactly. You can't really have a little, you know,
thin strap
bra, exactly. So so this has been well received so far. We're getting great feedback. We made a couple of minor changes that we had received from nurses, so that's why we love nurses. They are good to help us improve upon it, and they test it for us on patients, and so we get that patient feedback, and that's really exciting for us. And they love that because they know that the input that they put in is going to make a change, it's going to make a difference, and they're going to help their patients with their recovery even more so, and know that they had a piece of that and they were involved in that too, which I think is really important for them too. They're overworked.
Not to like put you on the spot or anything, but you know that I loved your old tank tops. Any chance that they will be coming back?
You know, I am open to it now that we're figuring out how to do this. I think the ultimate thing is now that we know, you know, now that we're kind of launching into this, we've had a lot of people come back and ask about the sports bras and the tanks, because they work well for women like yourself that have gone through the reconstructive process, and then just, you know, women in general.
The color was just fantastic. The pink and the green. I just loved it.
It was fun. It was fun to pick out colors, and we can do. That's what's nice about doing it in the U.S. We can do smaller runs,
right?
And we can change out the colors more often with that. So I would like to, because you aren't the first person to ask about that, and I think we would, and I think we'd include the smaller cup sizes because we had ones made for us since we're of the larger. And I was like, oh, this is really comfortable, and I'm not large chested, but you realize, like, as you get older, you still need to feel like you're being supported more than just a regular shelf bra. So I do intend to bring that back eventually, and like I said, because we can do a smaller run, we can make it work.
And one more question: what about a pocketed bra?
You know, the only problem with our bras, as far as doing like a pocketed bra for like a tank top or a for the tank tops or the bras in the sports line, is that our cups are kind of shaped a little bit different, where it's fine. You can make the pocket for the puff to go into during the reconstructive process or mastectomy process. But for the actual, if someone's actually going to use it for a prosthesis, oftentimes the prosthesis is too big to put in there. So we would probably have to redesign that, whether that is using a new, you know, whether that's, we'd have to work on that.
So maybe that's going to be a whole new bra eventually. Who knows what's in store for Heart and Core?
Yes, so we could do something. I mean, we definitely have to test it with someone that had a prosthesis, that we make sure the pocket is big enough to get it, you know, to fit inside and sits right. And I mean, I think it could be done. You know, it's, you know, I'm the person that says, all right, what do we need to do to make this happen? And like with the hospital that we were working with in New York, they said, we love this bra, but we need something simple. Can you make this other style? And we said, yeah, make it. We can still make it better. So getting that feedback and that sort of thing, and working with people, you know, like you and Cure Diva, that can help us.
Absolutely. And you know that I'll have guardians that would be happy to try a pocketed bra out, because
that's what we'll need to do for sure.
And honestly, the other thing that I'd like to add before we end this fun hangout is that your bra is sized great, and it is full figured. The size does fit very full figured people, and I definitely always reach out to that when clients, you know, say to me, hey, I'm this size, I send them that link, because it's hard to find full figure bras.
Absolutely, especially like after heart and lung surgery, there isn't a lot out there, and they're having their sternums cracked, or they're having breast surgery where it's not changing the size of their breasts, but they still need to be supported, and they aren't really given a lot of direction or told where to go. So we're really trying to, make the doctors, nurses, and patients in those markets aware of, you are going to need something. You aren't most likely going to get something from your doctor. And, here's what you're going to want is a front opening bra that will offer the proper support. But also, I think one thing with our Bonita bra too, we have taken because that elastic is wider and thicker, we have made some changes in our pattern so it's a little bit more giving. Because sometimes it has had a little bit too much of the sports bra constricted feel. So what we did basically is we did add a little bit more give in the band, so it will be a little bit easier for women, and not be so, not make them feel like they need to go up 1 or 2 sizes because it's, conservative in the band, so in the bandwidth. So we're definitely changing that too. So that'll be a good.
Well, Jen, thank you for taking the time today and hanging out, and I can't wait to see what else you have in store, because I'm pretty sure that only 2 bras is not all we're going to see from you. I can just tell. I think there's going to be more, and I'm excited to, soon when the Elizabeth is released, and I hope to have it on the page. I know that it will do very well. I have good feelings about it. So I thank you so much for taking the time out today and hanging out with us.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's great getting to talk to you.
Yeah.